We're back again because Alex just recently graduated. So you're actually one of the first people there's only a handful of people who did the training from one right to the next. So you're amongst that elite group of people who did that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us what's happened since the last training to now. What's been going on in your life?
So much. I've noticed myself become so much stronger within
Yes.
the 300 hours from the 200,
Yes.
and just getting closer to like everything being so much more at peace with
Okay.
my life and
Okay.
everything, and being closer to the higher power of some
Good.
sort, whether it's the universe or anything,
Mhm.
and just looking out for myself a lot more than I did.
Nice.
Um, Trying to have like my chakras all aligned and everything, and I thought that that was super beneficial about learning about all that, because bringing that into my life has really changed my life a lot,
Good.
and it was because of you.
Mhm.
And so yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for accepting. So as I said, Alex, she went from one into the next, and I definitely saw the growth. I definitely saw how when you first came in, you were strong to begin with because you had athletic training that you were doing prior to and during the training actually. But then going from the 200 to 300, then I saw your yoga practice take off, and definitely. So there's a pose that I had just learned how to do not so long ago, and I always joke. I say it takes me years to learn how to do these darn poses, and I come and I show it to them, and they do it like. So she was one of the people who did it in their first attempt, which is a headstand on with one fingers. So she had just two fingers holding her body and her head. It was amazing. I was like, holy smokes, and a bunch of other things. So every time I showed her a pose, she would just go for it, and just nail it. So definitely physically, I saw this progress in you. But then also in terms of your clarity, because I think you made some pretty life changing decisions. And this is the first time also that we've had a trainee do a production with us. So she actually did a play last night with Janisha and was amazing. And Janisha and I were actually talking about it on the ride over here. You were by far one of my favorites and what I believe one of the best performers of the evening. But how was that for you? How was it then going from the yoga world back into the acting world? Because you were doing that while you were also in teacher training, so you were rehearsing with her, dealing with her craziness, and then coming over here dealing with my craziness. You got a chance to see both of us in our crazy.
Yeah. It was interesting because acting is like my passion, but then I fell in love with yoga once I started my teacher training, and I don't know. Backstage, I was freaking out. I was practicing my lines, reading them. I felt like I couldn't remember anything. And then once I got up there, I felt so at peace, and I was just like, "This is where I belong to be, in this stage."
Awesome.
And yeah, it felt right.
Good, good.
Yeah.
And it was a packed house. The show started and people kept coming in and coming in. So it was almost, I think, completely full house. So how was it? Because your piece was interesting. You had a very emotional piece where most of it was pretty comedic. I think yours probably didn't have maybe moments of comedy, but for the most part was very very emotional. So how was that tapping into that? And do you think that in going through so much of the yoga, and really looking at your life and looking at things within life, that helps you in acting? Do you think that taking some of the lessons from your yoga practice, whether it be meditation or breathing, right backstage instead of puking and getting nervous, do you think that yoga can help you in your acting career?
For sure. I found that just like sitting and meditating before, just taking deep breaths for, I don't know, like even 10 minutes is so much more helpful because you get so much more grounded. And a lot of people actually take that for granted, and they walk around, they're like stressing out, and it's just like you just need to sit and be in your body and just forget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Good. So what's next for you? You call it. What's next for you? What's now that you're done with this training? What's
Hopefully, I could find somewhere to teach part time, but obviously that's just like a part time thing. I definitely want to pursue the whole acting
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Good rant, everybody. Awesome.
Howdy,